The Gold Ribbed Hares Ear is a very well-known pattern that imitates mayfly nymphs when it is tied in various colors and sizes. A must-have for any fly angler's fly box. Make sure you have these materials ready to tie the fly.
Well, folks, here's the hare's ear nymph. Now, I've tied this one here with the hare's mask. You can get everything you need. That's what originated. All your tail fibers are here. You can blend some of this up for dubbing. All kinds of hair on this. And that's where this fly originated. And it's one of the best nymphs ever created. Now, this is in a size 10. And the reason I've done that is it might be a lot larger than most insects. But this fly, I actually tied it back in years ago. I had some olive ones, and they were huge. I don't know. They must have been size like 4s or something. They were big. And I was over in a lake in British Columbia, and a couple of guys were struggling. They looked like they were locals, but I got on the water and got this fly down deep, and it got a few really nice big fish. Now, there was a couple of things that was the size, the color, and so forth, and I was down where the fish were down deep. But I'm just trying to make the point is this is a very generic nymph. So you can tie in different colors and sizes. There's no end to the limit, okay? This one's got the natural turkey quill on the back for the shell back and so forth. I've just put epoxy on the head. Other than that, it's basically the original fly. So what I'm going to do now is tie one that'd be a little more typical to what we'd fish here or most of the country for a nymph. Let's go on here with we're going to put a size that would be a little more conducive to what you're going to find in the water. This is a size 14 nymph hook right here, Temco. I'm not pushing any major brands of any sort. I was pro staff for a few companies. I've just kind of stepped away from that because it gets to be kind of an ad commercial, and I don't want to do that. Okay, we're going to dress our shank here. We're going to come around. Now, this is a nice, I like this bend on this shank here. It's kind of a nice, it's a 2302 is the model. It's got a bit of a hump on it. Excuse me. Now, I'll come in here with some of this super saddle here. Now, this is a lot of really nice dry fly saddles, but you get in the back, it's going to, get a little webbier, a little bigger, or you can come from the front and you get all these short little spade hackles off the front. And I use those for tilling material and so forth. You can always use the feather somewhere. A lot of times you get these saddles, this half saddle, for example, you don't have to buy the whole one. You can buy quarter saddles and you can buy 10 packs as well. So some of these hackles get pricey, and if you don't need a lot, why buy the whole hackle? Okay, take this nice Cree. I'm going to use that for the tail. I'm using fluorescent fire orange thread. Trim that off. Nice little short tail on it right there. We'll come in with some gold oval. That's small. I'll have all these flies, the recipe will be on with it, okay? So I won't spend a lot of time with that, but we'll chat about these flies as these podcasts I like where we can kind of chill out and visit a little bit more instead of just whipping through a demo. So hope you have time. Fill up a cold beer or whatever you're drinking. Okay, well now I'm going to come in with some natural hare's ear dubbing. This is good, this nice buggy dubbing. Get a little bit of that. You can dub that by hand. I'm just going to use my Norvise here. I like to use my rotary vise. And I basically bought this vise originally just because of the dubbing. And it does a lot more. You're going to see when I tie with it. If you haven't seen people tie, there's lots of these out there. So we're going to taper this body up a little bit. Then we'll come through with the gold rib. We're going to get a few turns with that. The nice thing about tying your own flies, you can kind of make them the way you want. There's no rules or, there's nobody say this always works, that doesn't work. There's no such thing. You do what you like to do and enjoy your time with the vise or throwing flies or buying flies, whatever you want to do. Everybody's got their own agendas, and that's great. Okay, now in this one, I'm going to trick it out a little bit. I'm going to bring some holographic tinsel. This is in copper. Just go over top of my wing case. Now I've got to tie this in reverse order. You remember now, this is the last item going on. The next item going on will be some of this quill, and I just clip a little of that off. Now if you notice, these fibers are, this quill's hanging together really nice, and you can't really see what I've done with it, but I've just taken some artist fixative that they use for spraying on top of their charcoal drawings or whatever they use it for to protect it, and I spray these feathers with that, and they don't split apart. They don't look like they got goo on them. It's not like we're using thin, all these different products. It looks natural, so that's been working for me for years. Now we want to take this quill down just a little bit more. It's a little bit wider than I want, so I'll just get my bodkin needle on my desk here, and I'll take a barb or two off. Marble. There we go. We got that nice about right where I want. Kind of get that for the size of your flies you're going to do. Catch that on there. Make sure your turkeys come over the top. Throw another half hitch in here. Should have this a little heavier thread. I should have used a little lighter thread. Now this is dark hare's ear. You always want to try to make that thorax a little darker than the body. It's just natural. There's no synthetics in here. I like these natural fibers. Now this one we're going to come in and get this a little bit thicker than we've seen that on the body of the fly. We want that thorax nice and thick. I'll pull my turkey over the top. Grab my holographic copper. I'm just going to pull everything back over itself one more time here a little bit. And I'll get one turn on that for sure. Finishing this off, I'm going to put a pretty good size head on that. I'll cut these off. Get my whip finish tool. There you go. Now that bright head on this fly, I'm going to get some Solarez bone dry. This is stuff I use a bunch of it. So I'm going to go around the thread. That'll make that bulletproof. That is not going to fall apart. I'll get a little bit over the top. Soak into that. A little bit of that holographic flash. And you see that, how that bounced that light off? That's a nice little wing case right there. I like that. So it's just a great fly. You'll see when I get the torch on there how that fluorescent thread just lights this up. So it's a pretty natural looking bug, but it's got a nice strike trigger on there. These trout are strike triggers are very good to have. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of time, and I want to go through here with I got it very loosely dubbed. I'm going to get a lot of stuff off here. A lot of this is going to come out, and I'll pinch it right off. Spend a little time on these flies. Like that. See now I got it looks more like legs. And if it thins out right on the bottom, that's good, because the nymphs really, the flies always have the nymphs have the legs coming off the sides more so, don't they? So we can kind of tailor these bugs the way we want, and we can spend as much time getting them just the way we like, because we know when the fish start eating them, see that's going to look a little more natural even from the bottom. I got my legs coming out the side. So there it is, a hare's ear nymph, and very, very versatile pattern. It's been around a long time. I don't even know who originated it, didn't look it up. It's been around for eons. So let's go on to the next one.
Thanks for joining us today. Subscribe to Brent's YouTube channel and Fly Fishing Pass It on Video podcasts, and follow him on X and Sport Fishing on the Fly.